Life support warning. 10% power remaining.
生命维持警告，剩余10%动力。
Life support warning. 10% power remaining.
生命维持警告，剩余10%动力。
Life insufficient power to initiate wake sequence.
动力不足，无法启动唤醒程序。
Insufficient power to initiate wake sequence.
动力不足，无法启动唤醒程序。
Insufficient power to initiate wake sequence.
动力不足，无法启动唤醒程序。
Insufficient power to initiate remaining.
紧急，生命危机警告，摄影团已不
Emergency. Life support to fail. In 1% power remaining.
紧急，已不利用完美。
Now I remember when we were married, you wanted to be joined together in matrimony.
And as I recall, it was till death do us part.
Yeah, that's right.
Wake sequence initiated.
唤醒程序启动，
Wake sequence initiated.
唤醒程序启动，
Wake sequence initiated.
唤醒程序启动。
I need your loving like the sunshine. 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 Everybody's gotta learn sometime. Everybody's gotta learn sometime.
Hi. Oh, I can't. Oh, there you are.
Yes,
Hi.
I muted myself. Yeah. How are you?
I'm great, Ching. How are you?
I'm good. I can't find my mouse, so my computer looks funny. Hi, how are you?
I thought we had so much. Like, I'm so sorry. I
It's
thought
okay.
the thing was in an hour, and I was
Oh.
rushing, and I didn't
Oh.
realize. And you're like, "Are you ready?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what time is it?" And so
Yeah.
so apologize.
That's okay. It's okay. It works fine. So let's see your face. We could do this way also, or we could do this way. Which way you like, director?
I like the first choice.
Huh? The
The
one?
other way.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you scoop down a little bit and I scoop up a little bit? In other words, I want a little more space above your head. Right now it's too little. Just a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Great. Yes. Great. Oh, that looks great. Yeah. So wonderful to see you. I always hear your sexy voice on Clubhouse.
The feeling's 100% mutual. I know we've spoken so many times, but it's the first time we've actually had some FaceTime together. It's so nice to see your beautiful face.
Oh, thank you. That's wonderful. So, we already have some audience with us. Thank you so much, audience, for being with us. Tarian is here. Patrick, Su Juhl. Thank you so much for being with us. So we watched a short film of Deborah's direction, under Deborah's direction. So can you tell us a little bit about the film, please?
Sure. Well, that was pretty much the film that launched my career. It's shocking to see at the end of the movie that was 2014.
Wow.
It feels so much has happened since then. So I did that while I was in film school at the College of Southern Nevada. And it was initially a writing assignment in screenplay writing 101. You had to write a 4-page, everyone in the class had to write 4 pages entitled Boy Meets Girl. And I thought I'm going to be really ambitious and start off with 10,000 years from now. And so I wrote it, and the class enjoyed it. And then the next semester in a production class, we were asked to, collaboratively in a class as a team make a short. And I picked that screenplay. So I wrote it one semester and then filmed it the next semester. And then my professor, John Aliano, suggested that we submit it to the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. And so, and then I was nominated for four regional production Emmys in the student category for Best Short, Best Director, Best Editor, and Best Screenplay. And much to my shock, I won all four.
Wow, congratulations.
Thanks.
That's wonderful. That's
And so
wonderful.
That pretty much set my career. And,
Yes. Yes.
I made that for $300. And so it was,
Get out of here.
yeah,
$300.
so ever since then, I was always known as a very
Wow.
filmmaker.
Amazing. So we were talking about the other day about film school or not film school. I understand now your film school really you really benefit from film school.
Yeah, and even though I'm a huge champion of film school, I do have to admit that I dropped out after I got the 4 Emmys. But I kind of wish I stayed a little, because I was a bit cocky back then. I dropped out and I was like, I got 4 Emmys, I'm going to conquer the film world. And I got humbled a little along the way and realized that, no matter how much you know, there's always so much more to know.
Yeah. So so it's amazing. I understand you were born in England, so you have this really nice British accent, and not only the quality of your voice is. I always describe your voice like it almost has like electricity in it.
Thanks.
Very beautiful. Yeah. And then you were like five-time world champion in bartendering. You're like you do so many things, and you own a club in Las Vegas, right?
Well,
Nevada.
Yeah. In a past life, I used to be a bartender, so I'd flip bottles around, do the competitions, and that's how I ended up in Vegas. And then I owned a bar. And during that time of owning a bar, we didn't have money to pay people to do our flyers and our videos and our, social media was real new back then. It was like MySpace and stuff, but we didn't have someone to do all that. So I had always been associated with the digital arts and had an interest in that my whole life. So I started doing all the content creation for our own bar. And that kind of grew and grew and grew, and eventually film school and so on.
Yeah. It's like when you promote your business, you have this sense of entrepreneurship, and you need to, which as a filmmaker or anybody needs to have. So that's great. You have like a first-hand practicing. Now, tell us a little bit about, you were born in England, where, and then when did you come to US?
Right. So I was born in the countryside in a little town called Red Hill in England. But then I grew up in a small island in the Middle East called Bahrain. So I lived there until I was about 10 or 11.
So now you speak Arabic.
Mafi Arabic could be. So then I went to school in England in my teenage years. Then I moved to Paris for a year when I was 17. Then I went back to England till I was about 26, 27, and then I moved to America.
Oh,
and
wow.
I'm proud to say that was 21 years ago.
Wow.
So I'm proud to say I'm going to be 50 years old this year.
Really? Wow, you look great. You look great. Yeah. I thought you were like 39, We're 39 forever. Forever 39. We should make a film, Forever 39. So, now tell me a little bit about your approach. How did you get into the sci-fi business? Like, there's a film has many genres, narrative story or documentary or horror, and you're more or less in the sci-fi. And you also do like a virtual reality thing.
No, not virtual.
Virtual.
I do a lot of genre jumping.
Mm.
I just love all genres, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm a
Uh-huh.
cinephile. I love film.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the last genres, I mean, my feature film coming up is a thriller. My,
Mm,
my last short was a grindhouse horror. The
mm.
short before that was a comedy. Before that, it was a supernatural thriller, and before that
Okay.
it was a sci-fi. So I've
Yeah.
always gone from genre to genre. I want to
Mm-hmm.
do a kung fu movie. I
Yeah.
want to do a musical one day.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
I want to do crime thrillers. I just love genres of all sorts.
That's
So,
great.
so yeah, it just comes from a passion of loving film,
Yeah.
loving all genres. And
Right.
I know some directors, they fall into that. They're a comedy director or a horror
Yeah.
director. I don't ever
Yeah.
want to do that. I consider myself an author in training. So,
Yeah.
my favorite directors, people like Kubrick or P.T. Anderson, or
Uh-huh.
they don't stick to a genre. So I want
Yeah.
I want to be that kind of director, and I am that kind of director. So.
Yeah. So, um, you write also screenplay, you direct, you edit, and you do a lot of things.
Right.
Which
In terms
part do
of,
you enjoy the most?
it's a great question. It's interesting because in film school they have a phrase called octopus director when you do everything. And it's not a compliment. They're like, don't be an octopus director. This is a team sport. Rely
Yeah.
on your team.
Mm,
And I 1,000% agree. You should always surround yourself with people who are talented and intelligent and bring so much more to the table because they're a specialist. Um, that being said, I consider myself a filmmaker. So whatever it takes for me to make that film is what I'm gonna do. So if that means I have to move a light, or if that means I have to learn how to edit, or if that means I have to learn to do VFX, then that's what I did early on in my career. And so I'm often hired as a writer, director, editor for TV commercials where someone hires me to write it, to direct it, and then to deliver it. So, essentially, I'm a writer, director, editor. That's what I consider myself. But, just out of practicality, I've become a DP as well. And, I make my own lights from scratch. So,
mhm.
I have a really good fundamental understanding. And now, by many, I'm considered a really good VFX artist. And that's just
Mm,
practicality because I could never afford to pay someone to create what I have in my head for my own passion projects.
right.
And
Right.
the wealth of information on YouTube and tutorials and
Mm-hmm.
software available. I mean, everything is available to learn.
Right.
And also
Right.
just have a huge thirst and passion for learning and for knowledge and for film. I often, when I see something that, some film or TV show that I'm like, how did they do that? I'm the kind of person that will then read, research, look up, find out, learn how to do it, and then try
Mm.
doing it myself because I want to be able to and I want to know. So that's how I've ended up being an octopus director. Yeah, I don't
Octopus.
think I even answered your question, but
Yes. Yes. Of
what's
course.
my favorite part? Well, I love direct. To me, it's writing, directing, editing. They say a movie is written three times: when you write it, when you direct it, and when you
Mm.
edit it. And
Yeah.
because I consider myself a writer, director, editor,
Yeah.
I feel that those three processes for me is
Yeah.
one thing. So
Right.
that's what I love the most: writing, directing, editing. To me, it's one whole thing because when I'm writing it, I'm already thinking about how I'm going to direct it or how I'm going to edit it. And when I'm directing it, I'm thinking about how I'm going to edit it. So it's all one to me. It's all
Right.
part and parcel of making your vision come to life.
Yeah. I watched some of your short films and also reels. The sound of your production is really good.
Thank
The
you.
the music. So tell us a little bit about. Were you ever a musician yourself?
Yeah, so it's funny when I was 15, I played piano, and I wanted to get a job in a recording studio because it was the beginning of the digital music revolution in the mid 80s, early 80s. And so I would read about all this technology that I had no access to. There was things like synclavier keyboards that Frankie Goes to Hollywood would use to sample stuff, and that was like a $200,000 keyboard, right, at the time. So I had no access to any of this kind of equipment. So I would save up my money and I would buy all the cables. I'd buy the audio connectors and the headphones and the cable. And I went to my local recording studio at age 15 saying, hey, I know about all your equipment, and I don't have any equipment or any experience, but I have. And I held up my tennis racket bag that was full of cables. And I said, but every cable you possibly want. And they gave me a job as a studio engineer. So based on the fact that I had all the cables and connectors. So I started working as a studio engineer.
Yeah.
And, that really fine-tuned the beginning of my digital musical education. And later on, I was in a band and stuff. But so I have that music background.
That's great. That's great. So tell us a little bit about your success of your short film, Dark Lights.
Oh, great. Thank you. It's very exciting. So my producing partner, Patrick Wirtz, and I recently made a short called Dark Lights, which is essentially it's a grindhouse horror about a vampire, a drug-addicted vampire. Spoiler alert. But we released it in January of this year, and it's a 10-minute short. It was pretty ambitious. There was 74 VFX shots in it. So a lot of smoke and mirrors. Yeah, it was pretty difficult to put together. But so far this year, it has been in, I think, 31 film festivals so far since January. So like one festival a week. And it's actually coming out as part of a feature film anthology in September. And the feature film anthology is called The United States of Horror. And each short in the horror film represents a different state. Being a Vegas girl, our movie represents Nevada.
Wow.
And we have the huge honor of it being the first short in the anthology. And it's distributed by Archstone Entertainment. And the most exciting part is it's being narrated by Doug Bradley, who played Pinhead in Hellraiser. So that's going to come out to a streamer near you this September, which is very exciting.
That's great.
Proud of the short.
How long this short is?
It's 10 minutes and took 3 years to make.
Gee, should we watch the trailer?
Yeah, let's watch the trailer. That sounds fun.
Okay. So let me go into click to share. So we're gonna watch the trailer of The Dark Knights by Deborah. It's okay. Here we go. Let's make it big. Here we go.
9 million rainy days have swept across my eyes, thinking of you. And this room becomes a shrine, thinking of you. 9 million rainy days have swept across my eyes, thinking of you. And this room becomes a shrine, thinking of you. And the way you are sends the shivers to my head. You're gonna fall down dead. You're gonna fall.
Ooh, spooky stuff.
Yes, great.
Did you watch the
Awesome.
short? Did you
The
get a
Dark
chance?
Knight.
Did you get a
Eh,
chance to watch
I
Dark
thought
Knight?
so. Yeah, I did. I did. Oh, sorry. It just keeps running. Keeps showing something else. Okay, let me go back. Yeah, yeah, I did. I did. Yeah, it was scary. It was good. It was good. Yeah, thank you so much. So, yeah. So tell us now. While you're waiting for, did you had any strategies when you apply for film festivals? Because I
Yes.
understand you already had accepted by 30. Like,
Yeah.
what was your strategy?
That's a really interesting question because I've been doing this, a while now, and I've had maybe 3 or 4 festival seasons in the past, and I certainly learned a lot from those past experiences. So this year going in, we had a pretty distinct strategy. We were going to enter Dark Lights into any festival that was local, any festival that was super big, and any festival where there was prize money. And that was it.
Hmm.
That was it. That was it. Because there are so many festivals that you can really waste a lot of money, and they don't necessarily add value.
Mm-hmm.
So, we wanted to try and win some money, but at the very least, we know for a fact that the festivals that give money are more serious festivals in general.
Mm-hmm.
If they're giving away prize money, they're also the kind of festival that is doing everything they can to get an audience to watch whatever it is they're presenting,
Mm-hmm.
because nobody
Right.
just wants to give away money for no reason.
Yeah.
So the festivals that give away money are more serious.
Mm-hmm.
The festivals that are local are obviously home turf. It's a Vegas movie.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously the really big festivals, we wanted to be on their radar. So
Yeah.
that was our strategy.
Yeah, isn't that sometimes it's tricky? Like, say, very big festivals, they only want a premiere, right? Status. So, for instance, in New
Right.
York, there is one I really like. I applied for it. It's called Dogg NYC documentary. It's supposed to be one of the biggest one, but it's also a young one. It's not like an old, but I know I'm not going to be accepted. I still did it because my film is already accepted by local, like 2 or 3 festivals. So it's like, what do you do,
Yeah, it's a tricky thing. It's a tricky thing. I think in this day of streaming and everything, I think the days of worldwide premiere type thing are easing up. And
Yeah.
I think those kinds of demands from
Yeah.
festivals are decreasing, unless it's a really, really great production with named actors, etc. Then I think on the smaller scale, I believe that trend is on the decline, because these festivals realize that with streaming so prevalent, then prevalent, um, filmmakers are stuck between a rock and a hard place,
Right.
and so many festivals have gone to streaming formats instead of in person. So it's really hard to avoid those landmines of you can only premiere it here first. It's kind of not fair to the filmmakers, I think.
Yeah. Did you ever read Sundance's rules on the film freeway? Because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
read a couple of times. I got really dizzy because I had no idea. Oh, I was like, I need to hire a lawyer to read these rules. It's
right,
unbelievable. It was
right.
like 3 or 4 pages long. It's like reading a contract.
Yeah, some of the film festivals can be very fussy. Uh,
Yeah.
but you got to remember, there's a whole bunch of different tier festivals, right? You've got
Yeah.
your first tier festivals, which are like, Sundance and Cannes and Berlin,
Yeah.
and that's
South
only like five. There's only like 5 or 6 of those, right?
South. What is it
Then
called? Southwest.
Southwest,
South by West. Well, how do you say that?
South by Southwest in Texas.
That's a weird name.
In Texas. And then you've got your second tier festivals, which are about 100 or so, maybe more. And then you've got your third tier festivals, of which there are thousands. And then you've
Yeah.
got really bad fourth tier festivals, of which there are thousands again. So, but those top tier, those were what we considered the big festivals.
Yeah.
So we have plenty to choose from. And I think
Right.
that's something else that any filmmaker should remember when they're putting together their film festival strategy, is there's a lot of choice.
Right. But then also timing is important. Say, for instance, like my current film was done January. It would be too late for me to apply for like Sundance or some of the, big ones. It's already past the deadline, right? So, so does the filmmaker need to wait like till the 6-9 months later? That's
it's definitely the strategizing in it. But you have to remember, those top tier festivals, only 1% of films get into those top tier festivals. So I'd be very careful about basing your strategy all around, I'm going to wait a year because of Sundance, because the chances are most films aren't going to make it into Sundance.
Right.
So I wouldn't, wait a year for that. The way I see it is you have a solid 12 months of a festival run, and your movie's got to, win awards and do what it needs to do in that 12 months.
Right.
Because after that, you're onto a whole new cycle.
Right. Right. Do you apply for film festival, different films to apply for different festival, like simultaneously, or you just work on one thing at a time?
Well, it takes so long for me to put stuff together. I mean, it took 3 years for that short, but that's a whole nother story. I mean, I took some big breaks in the middle of it.
Yeah.
But so, most of the time I'm directing TV commercials. So, so when I'm working on my passion projects, it's a year or 2 years for that project. Like currently I'm working on my first feature film, Move Me No Mountain.
Yeah.
And it's a year of my life, full time.
So tell us a little bit about Move Me on Mountain. I love the poster.
Oh, thanks.
I love the poster. I want to show. I want to show us. Yeah, I want to show us.
Let's watch the trailer.
Yeah, yeah, we can watch the trailer. But I saw it. I think I saw it on your. What do you call it? Yeah. Can you see it right now?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so I am showing Deborah's IMDb. So I don't know if I can click this big. So this is the film called Move Me No Mountain. Can make it bigger. Here. Did you see it?
I see it now.
Yeah. So this is a pretty cool poster.
Thank you.
Yeah, pretty cool. So yeah, let's see the trailer. Okay. So let's go back to here.
And full disclosure, this is a found footage trailer. So it's a few clips of other movies, some stock footage, and some stuff that we filmed to give people a taste of the mood and vibe of the movie, because we haven't shot the movie yet.
Yeah. The movie is not shot yet. Those are called stock trailer. Okay. Okay. Great. Can you see?
Yeah.
Can you see?
You're gonna have to wind it back, because if you hit
surrounded by the desert and mountains.
Okay.
Surrounded by the desert and mountains lies a shimmering city of silver and gold. Las Vegas. I used to sell houses here. I used to have a life here. I had friends. I had a daughter. But all that changed in the blink of an eye.
There ain't no way gonna hold my body down. There ain't no.
Sometimes the pain of staying is greater than the pain of walking away.
Gonna hold my body down.
So I decided to walk away from everything. I used to live in a penthouse on the Strip. Now I sleep rough on the streets of Sin City. The only question is, how long will I last?
Awesome.
What do you think?
Awesome. Yeah, so it's very powerful.
Thanks.
Very powerful.
So
Yeah.
it's pretty exciting because we're shooting this fall in Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Production starts October 1st.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited. We have a first look deal with Mutiny Pictures, so
Yeah.
hopefully this movie will be coming out limited theatrical release
Yeah.
in spring of next year.
Yeah.
And obviously the movie deals with the homeless issue in Las Vegas. And as a result, we're donating 10% of the movie's proceeds to directly impact 4 charities in Las Vegas who help those most at risk on the streets of Vegas.
Wow.
So we're still raising some private equity. And if anyone would like to join the adventure and help us out and help us help Vegas, you can go to our website, helpushelpvegas.com. That's helpushelpvegas.com. And
Can
you
you,
can make
can you write to me in the private chat, and then
yeah,
I'll
put it up
I'll
on the streamer.
I'll send it out to
Yeah. And
to
then
the audience.
let's see, helpushelpvegas.com, and they can see a little some stuff about the movie. They can see that trailer. They can see a little video by me giving them all the updates, and they can make a tax-free donation towards our movie. And I
Great.
encourage you guys to do that because you will have a warm, fuzzy feeling in your
Uh-huh.
belly, knowing that you're a righteous human being.
Yes. Yes. Wonderful. So, did you write the script? This film.
Yes, I'm the writer, director, DP, and editor of this movie.
Oh my God.
Judy.
Do you? Where was the inspiration come from? What was that? Anything is you in it? You
Yeah,
in it?
yeah, very much so. I think so. The main character in the movie voluntarily decides to walk out of society and become homeless. And I think early on last year during the lockdown, the isolation affected me very heavily, and the pressure of that isolation. Honestly, at times I looked out my window and I thought, what would happen if I just decide to walk out and just leave society? And when I spoke to my friends, I found that this was a more and more common theme in women's lives of the women around me. That at various times, as women, we're kind of damned if we do and damned if we don't. And very many times we feel that pressure of, just wanting, just feeling like, how can I get away from all of this? How can I walk out? What would happen if I walked away from everything? And also the theme of the movie is guilt. And as women, we carry a lot of guilt in our lives. Guys tell us we don't wear enough makeup, or we wear too much makeup, or there's all these pressures that we face as women. So there's a lot of guilt in our lives, and so this movie explores those two things very, very closely. Like the what would it be like to walk away from everything, and what is it like to explore those themes of guilt that we carry. So that's where the inspiration for the film came from.
Wow. So now, what can you tell a little bit about how one become a writer and writing film script? Was that a natural for you, or you had to work really hard on it?
Well, I think as a craft, filmmaking is a craft, and
Yeah.
behind every door, there's another 10 doors, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And screenwriting is one of those doors. And as a craft, I think everyone has to work hard at it to get better at their craft. No one was born being a great screenwriter.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I've always been a storyteller. You
Mm.
know,
Mm.
I've always been verbal and descriptive, and had a pretty good command of my words.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've always enjoyed telling people stories and around the campfire and sharing experiences and sharing stories. So my love of storytelling brought me to filmmaking. Being a screenwriter is a technical craft, and it's something that, while I had a natural flair for storytelling, it didn't necessarily translate to overnight me being a good screenwriter. And while I am a screenwriter, I would argue that I still have so much more to learn about screenwriting. And anyone that wants to be a screenwriter, the best thing you can do is start reading screenplays. And I'm going through a phase now where I'm reading a lot of screenplays. And sometimes I even watch my favorite movies while I'm reading the screenplay of them, so that I understand how pacing on a page translates to pacing on a screen.
Right.
So there's a lot to learn about it.
It's really an art, right? That's really an art.
And it's something we could talk about all day long.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I said, in filmmaking, behind every door, there's another 10 doors, and each one of those doors is an exhaustive subject with 100 years of industry to draw from. So yeah, again, I don't think I even answered your question, but
Yeah. No, you did. I'm always wondering something I don't know how to do. How did people started and become so good at that? And
well, it starts with having ideas and being a storyteller. And because if you have an idea for a story, the first thing you can do is tell your friends. And straight away you can see on their faces, have you lost them? Are they yawning? Are they looking away? Or are their eyes getting wider? Are they leaning into you telling the story? And you can tell if your idea is a good idea or if it needs a little sharpening. And if it needs a little bit of sharpening, you can go back, find it, and go tell it to another friend. And you can use your friends as this kind of like market research to see what ideas of yours are good or bad. And that's the beginning of then weeding out what are the good ideas. And then once you've got a good idea, then you can kind of move on to the next stage. And the next stage is outlining a story. And that's a whole another subject. But once you have an outline, then you can go on to writing your story. And you're writing the summary kind of thing of it. And then you can go on to actually writing the screenplay itself. So it kind of goes in phases, like anything, you learn to walk before you run.
Right.
It all starts with a good idea. And the way to know if an idea is good or not is tell your friends and look at their face. Because while their words will lie to you, their face won't.
Yeah. Did you ever consider moving to LA, like where the filmmaking is happening?
Right. That's a great question, because every now and then people say to me, why don't you move to LA? And, there's a couple reasons why. One, I love it where I live. I love Las Vegas. I've been here 21 years, and I love it.
Tell me about it. Tell me what made you to move from England to anywhere else to Las Vegas. You like the gambling?
I was a bartender at the time.
Okay.
I wanted to research. I loved bartending. Like I said, I've always had a thirst for knowledge, and so I loved bartending, and I wanted to be closer to cocktail culture, and cocktail culture was born from America.
Debbie, I have a question.
Yeah.
When you bartending, do you drink too, or you don't drink?
Well, I haven't bartended in a long time.
While you were bartending, do you drink too?
It all depended on the bar. When I worked in nightclubs in Florida, I drank. When I worked at the casinos in Las Vegas, I did not. When I owned a bar and I bartended, I did drink. Well, it really depends who's in charge, right? But yeah, I was a bartender. I wanted to learn more about American cocktail culture. So I got out a map of America and I closed my eyes and I did this with my finger and it landed on a bar and I landed on a town in Florida called Brandon. So I bought a plane ticket to Brandon near Tampa.
You're crazy.
I got off, yeah, this is when I was young and crazy. So I got off the flight and I said to the taxi driver, take me to the closest TGI Fridays because that's where I worked at in England.
I see.
And that started my journey in America. And then, as a bartender flipping bottles, flair bartender in Florida, Vegas called literally, and so then I moved to Vegas to bartend in Vegas, and that's how I ended up in Vegas.
Wow.
I love Vegas. And getting back to the LA question,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm very happy where I am. I love writing stories about Vegas.
yeah.
And I don't think as a filmmaker, you don't need to be in LA to make films.
Mm-hmm.
You could be anywhere in the world and make films.
Mm-hmm.
So, and now, post-pandemic,
Mm.
so much is done on Zoom
Mm.
and on Clubhouse
Mm.
and on social media. You don't need to be in LA to make these contacts or to know people in LA. And
Right.
I don't even there's no reason for me to be in LA except to, get stuck in traffic and maybe once in a blue moon make some in-person meetings.
Mm-hmm.
But I may saying that I may have to fly to LA in a couple of weeks to meet
Yeah.
a celebrity who may be in our movie.
Ah.
But but that's just because I want to meet them in person. I want them to meet me in person, so they believe in me. But we got Clubhouse, we got Zoom, we're doing this on YouTube.
Yeah.
Those days of having to be in LA, I think,
Yeah.
are far gone. And I think a lot of people move to LA to be a filmmaker, and then 10 years later are stuck in an editing job, editing reality TV, and hate the industry and being very bitter.
Yeah.
So I think Hollywood is kind of the place that go when you're invited.
Right.
When I have a couple of successful movies under my belt, and someone's calling me up saying, "Hey, we want you to make this film, and
Yeah.
you should move here," but then it's different. But
Yeah.
moving there to make it is I think it's a false. It's a fallacy.
Yeah, yeah, it's like this is a false kind of a imagination, or just the people just think you need to go to Los Angeles to make film. But I know I've only been in Las Vegas once, just as a tourist. But I know a lot of people go there for meetings, conferences. It seems like a very cultured place. Actually.
Well, that's what I love about it.
Right?
Most people in Vegas are not from Vegas. So there's this frontier spirit of we're all in this together. So there's a lot of camaraderie.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right. Everyone eventually comes to Vegas to visit.
Yeah.
So sooner or later, anyone that I know comes to me. So why move?
Yeah. Is it living standard is reasonably affordable, like housing?
Well, I say that because it was until the pandemic, and I thought the housing market was going to crash because of the pandemic, and the opposite happened. Everyone who left LA came straight to Vegas.
Wow.
And what you could buy in LA, you could buy 4 of in Las Vegas. And so all these people moving to Vegas suddenly drove the housing market up. So in the last year, the housing market in Vegas has been going bananas. Where houses going up in value $5,000 a week.
Wow.
And I think it will. I think the housing market in Vegas is in a bubble and it will crash. But as long as displaced people from the pandemic keep moving to Vegas, then it's just going to keep driving the economy up here.
Yeah. So do you? I ask a silly question.
I love silly questions.
Do you ever, when you're in Las Vegas, do you ever go gambling?
No, I don't, because the quickest way to double your money in Las Vegas is to fold it in half and put it back in your purse.
You're smart. My father-in-law, who already passed away, he said gambling uh, is a stupid. It's a tax on the stupidity.
I like that. Well, the fact of the matter is, Vegas is a hard town. It will, if you're not careful, this town can chew you up and spit you out in a heartbeat. There's
Yeah,
great temptations. It's pretty wild. There's, there's the whole strip club thing. There's prostitution legal within an hour of here. There's
yeah,
gambling. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of transient people.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
a lot of, like any urban area, there's a lot of drug problems.
yeah.
So it's got all of like society's craziest vices
I
are
see.
celebrated here in Las
Yeah,
Vegas.
yeah.
So if you're not level-headed or you're not careful, it can chew you up and spit you out in a heartbeat. And
I
I
see.
don't think if I liked to gamble, then I don't think I would have made it 21 years in Vegas.
I
Because
see.
I've seen a lot of people crash and burn and move out after a year, 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Back to filmmaking.
Yeah.
You're so knowledgeable. I hear you talking in different groups on Clubhouse, and it's just a really wonderful. Um, how did you become so techy? Like you know so many, editing software and this where that where.
Yeah, well, it's just because so I got my first video camera in 1979.
Woo! You beat
Um,
me up. I got it from when I had it. 1988. My first
okay,
camera.
I got my first Apple computer around the same time. I
Oh,
I started using Photoshop when it was Photoshop 3. I think it just changed from black and white.
oh my
Uh,
God!
my first website in 1988.
Wow.
I was there at the beginning of the digital music revolution when I was a studio engineer at 15.
I
So
see.
all
I
my
see.
life, I've been riding that wave of the digital multimedia
Yeah.
revolution.
Right.
And even going back further than that, in the
Yeah.
70s, when I grew up in Bahrain, my father owned an advertising agency.
I
And
see.
this was before the desktop revolution.
Yeah.
So I was there witnessing, as a 5-year-old, I was witnessing my father using Letraset and tint, which is when you used to do illustrations and you
Uh-huh.
would cut out tint to stick on the illustration to do
Yeah.
shading and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was graphically aware,
Yeah.
and I was aware of marketing techniques and advertising techniques at a very
Yeah.
young age.
I see.
So all these things combined, plus I've always been a business owner.
Hmm.
I've always owned, I've had a bar and I've had a soundstage, and
I
so
see.
those have always put me in leadership
Yeah.
positions.
Yeah.
So all these combinations
Mhm.
of things
Yeah.
are, funnily enough, all the foundations you need
Yes.
be a film director or a
Yeah.
technician in this
Right.
industry. So yeah, I've just always been playing with pixels my whole life. I've, I've had a very, very rich and diverse upbringing. So that has
Yeah.
lended itself to me having a unique voice as a
Yes.
storyteller. And then
Yes.
my love of technology throughout the ages has just blended into this strong foundation of technical know-how.
Yeah.
Plus, like I said, I've always been very, very curious. So
Mhm.
anytime someone has said something that I didn't understand or I wanted to learn,
Mm.
not only would I learn about that little nugget, but
Mm.
I'd learn how that little nugget affected all the other nuggets in the
Mm.
chain next to it. And then I would experiment with it and I would learn with it and I would
Mm.
try it. And so, and also I feel like as a filmmaker, as a female
Mhm.
filmmaker, I've
Mm.
always been fighting for my seat at the table.
Mhm.
And it has been so much easier to do that
Mm.
when I acknowledge everyone else sitting at the table.
Mm.
So
Right.
when a DP is doubtful of my skills as a DP, and then I show them the lights that I made from scratch, all of a sudden it raises my credibility.
Mhm.
And so it's been kind of out of practicality that to
Right.
show people that,
Right.
hey, listen to me, look what I can do. I know what
Mm.
I'm talking about.
Right.
And if you want to come at anything with that kind of attitude, you
Yeah.
better know what you're talking about.
Right. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And you've done so many different roles as a filmmaker. Have you ever been an actor, actress?
No, never,
No?
never, never been in front of the camera.
No?
And I have no interest in being in front of the camera. I
But
hate
your picture's so sassy.
I don't even like, I feel a little awkward in interviews, but I love talking about the craft.
Uh-huh.
And so,
Yeah.
I have a thing, as long as the interviews don't get too personal into my personal life and we stay on topic with the craft, then I'm really happy to talk about the craft of filmmaking because I love sharing that knowledge and I have so much passion for filmmaking. But yeah, I have no interest in being in front of a camera. I don't want to see myself on screen.
Yeah. So, you sound like a very good teacher, a role model. If someone is like 18 years old, right, about to try to find out what kind of career they want to go into, especially as a filmmaker, how would you advise a young person who wants to go to this route?
Yeah, that's a great question. Now, I think the best answer for that, because as I said earlier, there are so many opportunities in film to do so many different things. I think the best thing you could do at 18 is go and find your local community college and take a class. Because one class, you don't have to throw yourself full time into film school for 2, 3, 4 years. You can just take one class for a semester, like an introductory to film or something like that. And at least that is going to be a low-cost way of finding out about all the different areas of film. And then you can kind of figure out which one piques your interest the most. And then take a class on that and then build from there. Because, a single class at a community college, depending where you are, is probably going to be less than $500 for a semester. Probably around $350. I don't know current prices, but I'm guessing around there. So it's a very affordable way of essentially putting a toe in the film water and seeing what it is you want to look into in film. And also you'll meet different people in that class that have specific different interests already, or maybe they're like you and trying to figure it out. So you'll find your tribe really quick and you'll get an idea.
Very good.
Advice for an 18-year-old.
Yes. Very good. Very good. And I can relate to myself. My first profession, I'm a musician. I'm not a media person. But at about 13 years ago, I always played video camera for a long time. And then 13 years ago, I went to NYU. I took a crash course. It was like a 6 weeks or 8 weeks course. That really puts me in the track of, knowing every step of filmmaking. What is it? Of course, naturally will become a filmmaker if you just take 8 weeks or 6 weeks. But it's a very good guidance, kind of push you into a direction, right? So that, and since then I made a lot of pieces and short or long. So I had a question. Deborah, I met you on Clubhouse and tell us, amazingly, actually, lots of my friends, people I know, I think maybe only 5% of people there on Clubhouse. So amazing. You tell me, what do you like about Clubhouse?
Oh my gosh. They call it Crack House because it becomes very addictive. So I love Clubhouse. So for those of you who don't know, Clubhouse is an audio drop-in app. It's available now on Apple and Android.
No, for everyone.
Yeah, for everyone now, I think.
Right?
Yeah,
everyone. Yeah. Oh, doesn't need an invitation anymore. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. It used to be invite only. Now it's like
yeah.
But the crazy, so I only got on Clubhouse like maybe 3 months ago. And I was shocked. It is, if you're into the film industry, and I can't really speak about other industries because I focus all my time and energy on the film rooms. But if you're in the film industry, it is a main line directly into that industry. You get to share space. It's kind of like listening to radio about your favorite topic, but it's really great because you don't have to dial in and wait to try and speak. You can just press a button and chime in, and so
Can I talk?
yeah, and so you get to speak to all these people in the industry who are industry professionals, like yourself, like me, like heads of studios and famous actors and famous producers and really, really well-known and well-respected lawyers and managers and talent agents and actors and editors and all industry professionals who are working all over the world right now in the industry, creating the kind of content that you're watching and consuming that we all are.
Yeah.
And these are our peers, and we have direct connection to them. And that is so invaluable. At first, for me, it was so intoxicating. I was like, oh my gosh, I got to shoot my shot, and I've got to tell them about everything I'm doing, and they got to know me, and they got to hear me. And they were like, who the hell is this? Like, what? You're being needy. Go away. And so I kind of hung back, and I listened, and I added value where I could, and I used it to learn, and I use it to teach when I can, and to share what I know. And I think that's the big key, is that with Clubhouse, when you're new to it, you got to play it cool. Okay, don't jump in and shoot your shot. It's
Don't sell yourself too much.
Right.
No pitching.
It's kind of like dating. When you leave a date and you text the guy right away, like, hey, can I meet your parents? You don't want to do that, right? So it's kind of like that. You want to play it cool and give people their
hard
space.
to get.
Right. So but if you play it cool and just kind of ease your way into it and listen to what people have to say and let relationships develop organically, and when you get more comfortable, add value where you can, then it can be an amazing resource.
Right.
Like, absolutely amazing. I mean, on my feature film that we're shooting in October, Move Me No Mountain, which you can get involved with at helpvegas.com. I met our entertainment attorney on Clubhouse. I met our casting director on Clubhouse, and I met our assistant director on Clubhouse. So these are 3 people that I didn't know 4 months ago, who are industry professionals who are bringing huge value to our film, and all through Clubhouse. So I can't speak about it enough. I moderate on rooms maybe like 4 hours a week now. And because of it, I'm also going to be a mentor to 8 women of color in the industry through a program that the name I should know, but it's escaping.
Darien Dangju's 1 Minute Film Festival.
Well, I'm also a judge on that as well, but I have to look up the name of this program that I'm mentoring.
Okay.
Through Clubhouse. But Darien's 1 Minute Film School, I'm a judge.
Yeah, you're the judge.
On this film thing. And, so it's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. And if you're not on Clubhouse and you have anything to do with the film industry, you absolutely should be on Clubhouse, is my opinion.
Right. I think so too. I am mostly in the film groups, and I don't know if someone loves math or science or even cooking. They must find their own niche, right? I also have many groups speaking Chinese groups.
Oh, interesting.
So so sometimes they just play music. We listen to old songs. Sometimes we talk, just rubbish, just talk, like gossip, not other people's matter, but just gossip among ourselves, so it's kind of very relaxing. So but I met so many wonderful people. I met you. I interviewed Josh, the documentary professor, Oh, by the way, I have a Clubhouse every Friday, 11 a.m. and you also came a couple of times. 11 a.m. Eastern time. We teach people how to use a smartphone to make films, because I made a film exclusively by using iPhone 11, and the film got like 3 best documentary feature in 3 different countries.
Congratulations. That's
Yeah,
huge.
yeah, thank you. So yeah, back to Clubhouse is really great resource and great connecting, and I think it probably is a good way of cure depression too, because
Well, it's great to feel connected.
you get to talk to people, because a lot of time people are depressed is like they have no one to talk to when they need to talk, or they can talk. But then Clubhouse is like you can talk to strangers, right? So people are less judgmental.
Yeah, it's very therapeutic, and as a filmmaker, that is one of the biggest challenges. I have to admit that making my feature film for the last few months, I've had to be on the campaign trail, so to speak, raising the money for it.
Yeah.
And there have been a lot of no's to get to those yeses. So there's been a lot of up and down through the process. And as a result, some days I'm really, really happy because I got that $10,000 check. And some days I feel really down because I had 20 no's. And so it's wonderful having this community where you can just press a button on your phone and immediately I can speak to like-minded people who are going through the same thing. And it's wonderful. And then I also use it for some kind of entertainment as well. Sometimes I go into UFO rooms.
Oh.
People talk about aliens and some real woo-woo stuff.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So have you gained some knowledge through Clubhouse about fundraising for your film?
Oh my gosh, so much, yeah, because on a couple different levels, it's interesting. One, there are some pitch rooms in Clubhouse where you can literally pitch to venture capitalists or to movie execs. And I believe, I'm not going to say names, but there was a venture capitalist who put $10,000 into my feature.
Wow.
And that was 1,000% met through Clubhouse. The great thing is, after meeting him on Clubhouse and after exchanging emails and various conversations and various phone calls, he happened to be coming to Vegas. So I met up with him and we got to meet in person. And then that sealed the deal. And then he's now an executive producer on the project. But also with the raising money, I met my financial coach on Clubhouse. Her name is Joanne Butcher, Filmmaker Success. And she has a program where she literally coaches filmmakers on how to raise money for their films.
Oh, I see.
I met her on Clubhouse. And so it's been really, really great for raising money. Even though only maybe 2% of the money for my movie has come from Clubhouse so far. It's still been invaluable in that process. And also there are rooms where you can practice your pitch. It's really but you get to practice.
Right.
And that's really good because you can maybe practice a 30-second pitch or a 60-second pitch or a 5-minute pitch.
Right.
People will give you feedback and it's really invaluable.
That's great. That's actually, pitching is a very good skill, because I didn't even know the word pitch a few years ago when I went to a film festival. I saw people on stage pitching.
It's exhausting. Pitching is exhausting because so my movie is a $200,000 movie. So I've had to, and I still do, and I have to pitch a lot. Yesterday I was at an investor dinner with a couple who are thinking about investing in my movie, and I had to do a 2.5-hour dinner pitch.
Really? Oh my God.
They finished their dinner and I still haven't even started my food. The whole time I'm like yapping and yapping.
Can you do a pitch for us, like within 1 minute?
Sure. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let me time it. Let's see. Yeah, let's do this.
Do a pitch for us.
Well, why not? Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hi guys, my name's Deborah Richards. I am a 4-time Emmy-winning filmmaker from Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm really excited because my current project is a feature film, a thriller called Move Me No Mountain. It's about Jenna Anderson, a real estate agent in Las Vegas who can't get over the crushing guilt of her daughter's death. So she decides to voluntarily walk out of society and become homeless on the streets of Las Vegas, Nevada. We're currently in various stages of talks with, I can't say the celebrity names publicly right now, but we're in various stages of talks with insert name here and insert name here for 2 one-day supporting roles. We've currently raised $50,000 of our $200,000 budget. We go into production on October 1st, and we have distribution in place with a first look deal with Mutiny Pictures. I'd love to grab your email and talk to you more about the project.
Wow! How was it? 1 minute? Ooh! Bingo! Great job. Great
Thanks.
job. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the short version.
Yeah. That's
If
awesome.
you go to dinner, you're getting the 2.5-hour version.
with wine and
lots of
fancy
wine.
wine and fancy food. All right. So yeah, that's a great
fun.
one. That's
That
a
was
great
fun.
one.
Thanks for
Yeah.
that.
So we're approaching our time. Do you have any other things you want to pitch? Should we do a rapid fire? Do you know
sure.
rapid fire?
Yeah.
I'll do
yeah.
rapid fire. Okay, I'll do rapid fire with you. Anything
Okay.
else you wanted to what do you call shout out? Anything?
Yeah, help us help Vegas.com. Please go on there and make a donation. $5, $10, $20, anything counts. It's tax-free. You'll be helping us make this film, which obviously will employ about 70 people in Las Vegas for a short period of time. Plus, also, it's going to launch a lot of people's careers. Plus, also, 10% of the proceeds of the movie are going to go to help those most at risk in our community. Help us help Vegas.com.
Thank you. Awesome. Help Deborah. Help her project. All right. So thank you so much. And oh yeah, before we do rapid fire, I just want to thank Deborah. Thank you so much to have this conversation. So much fun with me.
So much fun.
And thank our audience being with us and making comments. And I started this a conversation with someone special since March 27, 2020. And today you are my episode 118.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, I get to talk to so many people and different professions: filmmakers, musicians, doctors, scientists, politicians, people running for something, and group of volunteer people as well. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So please subscribe my YouTube channel and please check on us usually Wednesday 4 p.m. Eastern time. Sometimes I do Monday, sometimes I do Friday, but Wednesday is pretty solid. Next Wednesday, Deborah, tomorrow I'm flying to LA.
Oh, how fun. How long are you going to be there?
Huh?
How long are you going to be there?
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Nice.
I'm going to be spending 1 week.
Just wave out the window at me.
I'm going to be in Santa Barbara for 1 week, visiting my son who is in the music festival. So I will go to 2 of his concerts, and then I'm gonna go spend 3 days in Los Angeles, then 2 days in San Diego. Yeah, so visiting some friends. Mostly is pleasure. But I probably will do a little filming. And then next Wednesday, I probably do a live streaming in Los Angeles, in Santa Barbara. So I was streaming some musicians from local, because no point for me to sit in, Santa Barbara talking to people, right? I need to go out and then do a live streaming, So that should be fun. So
well, I might be there in about a week and a half.
Really?
To visit with a famous actor who's actually going to be in our film.
Ooh, that's nice. Yeah.
Maybe we can get together for coffee.
Yeah. So text me when you're going to be there. Okay. All right. Great. So, all right. Rapid fire is just short question and fast answer.
Okay, I'm ready.
Hey, bartender, what would you like to drink? I am the bartender. I'm asking you. You're a customer right now. What can I serve you, Deborah?
Oh, please may I have a rum daiquiri, stirred, not shaken, straight up.
Okay. Well, so when you go to Chinese restaurant, right? Spicy or not spicy?
Very spicy. Muy caliente.
Okay. What's your favorite food genre?
Favorite food genre?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
noodles.
country, like country.
Noodles. Anything with noodles.
Oh, I love noodles too. I
Anything
love
with
noodles.
noodles.
So you must really like Japanese what do you call Japanese
Sukiyaki and
ramen?
shabu and ramen. Yeah,
Yeah.
anything with noodles. I love noodles.
Yeah, me too. Me too. When I'm hungry, all I think is noodles in my head. Wow, that's amazing. Which book did you read recently that really catches your attention? Like you really like?
Yeah, I recently reread V for Vendetta, which is a comic book, but it still blows my mind as one of the best books of all time.
3 all-time favorite films.
There Will Be Blood by P.T. Anderson, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon by Ang Lee, and Blade Runner by, I'm drawing a blank, by Ridley Scott.
That's nice. You remember the directors. Usually we don't remember directors. So what is your music genre you really like?
Oh, I like EDM, so I like electronic music.
Oh, I should send you some music from my brother. He writes electronic music.
Very cool.
Yeah, you can even use his music if you want to.
Nice.
Copyright free. Yeah.
Awesome.
Anyway, okay. So other than United States and Las Vegas, if you don't have to worry about money all time, I gave you 2 months, no work, no worry about money. Which country would you like to spend and what city?
Probably Thailand. Maybe yeah, Thailand. Yeah, anywhere in Thailand. By the beach.
That's nice. Thailand is nice. Great food.
Great
Love-
food.
yeah.
Great food.
Massage.
Great, beautiful people.
When I think about Thailand, I think about massage, spa. Okay, so yeah,
Great shopping. Don't even
yeah.
take luggage. Buy that there.
So if you were not a filmmaker or a business owner, what other profession you may possibly have?
Oh, I think I would have been an architect. I love
Architect is frozen music, they call.
Oh, interesting. I love the way spaces interact with people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay. Now, I asked this question to some people already, but I'll ask you anyway. If you have a chance to have dinner with 3 persons, live or dead, which 3 persons would you like to have dinner with?
Ooh, oh my gosh, 3 people that I'd love to have. Okay, Quentin Tarantino, Stanley Kubrick, and Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yeah. Cool. Pick their brains. Yeah. Very good. Very good. So
that would be an interesting dinner. That'd be such an interesting dinner. Oh my gosh, that'd be so interesting.
Yeah. If there's one thing you want to change about your community, which is Las Vegas, which things needs to be changed? I'm talking about more society, socially.
Yeah, no, it's a good question. What would I change about Las Vegas? I think I would change the rules on advertising here, because there are a lot of billboards with strippers on them and over sexualizing women, in a very public way, and I think it sets a really bad example for teenage girls and young girls, and objectifies. I know advertising objectifies and sexualizes people, and I think that's a bad thing, but here it's just very in your face on billboards, and I think that's not a good environment for families with children to be driving down the street and see that.
Yeah.
I think that's negative.
So also, there's lots of lot more billboards than any other city, I would say, right? And also, your city never sleeps, right? It's
Right.
always lights.
Yeah, and it's just very well. I love the fact that it never sleeps, but the fact that the people are so sexualized so blatantly on billboards by the side of the street. That I think that's a negative thing for society.
Yeah. Thank you. That's a great great answer.
Great question.
Thank you. All right, last question is always the same. Coffee or tea?
Coffee, 6 of them a day, every day.
Oh
I had a blood test recently, and the doctor said your blood is 80% coffee, 10% scotch, and the rest I don't even know.
That's a good one. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. So whenever
tea before bedtime because
yeah. Are you? You're not vegetarian, are you?
I'm vegan adjacent, so I'm mostly vegetarian.
Oh my God!
No, I'm totally vegetarian.
It's amazing.
Mostly vegan.
It's amazing. I really respect people who are vegan. Yeah,
well,
I think
I'm mostly vegan. I'll still take cream in my coffee. I tell, and every now and then I'll eat cheese pizza. So I'm vegan adjacent.
You need some flexibility. Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much. So I'm in New York. You're in Nevada, and please, when you come to New York, definitely, we'll hook up. We'll definitely connect.
Maybe I'll see you in LA in a couple of
weeks. Right. So text me. When are you gonna be there? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for a beautiful interview, and
thank you for talking to me, Deborah. This is so much fun. I'm so glad we met in this format rather than Clubhouse, just the voice. So yeah. Thank you so much. And so we are going to end this session here, and maybe we can talk to you again after your film is done. We could do another session when your new feature. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much. You have a beautiful day.
Thank you, everybody. So we're gonna end. Okay. Have a nice evening, Wednesday evening. Okay.